present series, being in a state of presence. Being in a state of 24/7, this is an exploration into various topics, states of being that we can be inside of all day. The first one is to be in a constant state of being in touch with our past life drives. We all have hidden drives, hidden from others, as well as from ourselves, and many of these drives are rooted in our past lives, expressing themselves inside and outside of us in this lifetime. These drives, when harnessed properly, can show us how to get back to the garden and how to draw on our generation's capability to be redeemed and attract us to lost souls who are trying to find themselves, and open us to carry out the messages of many souls that reside inside of us. And to elevate the mineral, plant, and animal parts of ourselves. And to harness the mystical bonds we have with beloved ones. And to be guided by the smoothness of life, or the lack of it. And to actualize our calling in life. Here's some past life drives, prayer meditations. Starting with the transgenerational perfection process. Back to the garden. Adam Rishon and Chava, Adam and Eve. First man and woman. They served as a composite of all humanity. Their primal choice is whether to listen or not to listen to God's command, not to eat from or ingest the consciousness of the tree of knowledge of good and evil, and thereby ingest into their and into all of humanity's system doubt. They chose not to obey. They and humanity from that point onwards were presented with the historical challenge or legacy of returning to the garden and to paradise. They do this by overcoming any doubt whatsoever of God's omnipresence and omnipotence. The dualism of good and evil is elevated to the unity of only good. This is the deepest purpose of every individual reincarnation. To make strides forward towards this ultimate state of consciousness. Explore in your mind's eye or in writing your inner drive to transcend all doubts that God is omnipresent and omnipotent, and all other doubts standing in the way of your being in a constant state of paradise. Scan a normal day in your life and identify how far along you are in all this process and how far you still have to go. Clarify your inner strengths, what inner strengths you can draw upon, that you can draw upon to advance your constant awareness and self-actualization in this realm. Ribono Shel Olam, Master of the Universe, bring us back to the garden. The world at large, as well as each and every one of us, myself included, shine for me your light. A light so bright that I have no doubt about what to choose. I choose only you. I make your will my will. In every decision I ask, what does God say, or what finds favor in God's eyes? And I choose and I act accordingly. Help me and all of us to reveal your presence in everything we do until the world becomes the unlimited kingdom of your majestic presence. Help us now to open the gates of the Garden of Eden consciousness. The Humanity Soul Maps. There are 3 maps that serve as the basis of the historical subdivision and categorization of humanity within the context of Adam and Eve's soul map bodies. The elements of each map are represented in different points of history. Usually the pattern is that the higher, more primal levels appear earlier in history, and the lower levels come later, an ongoing decline of the level of transgenerational soul levels. Similarly, there is a body part map extending from the head down to the feet, and there is a soul level map from Yechida down to the Nefesh. We now, in these last or completion generations prior to Mashiach's coming, represent the lowest of souls, the Malchut level, the Nefesh level, and the heel of the foot level, the Ikvat de Mashiach. Explore in your mind's eye or in writing your inner drive to transform the world as a part of a generation that is capable of bringing on the Geula, the redemption. Scan a normal day in your life and identify how far along you are in a position to contribute to this process and how far you still have to go, and clarify what inner strength that you can draw upon to advance your constant awareness and self-actualization in this realm. Help our generation to know who we are and to tap into our unique strengths and to overcome our weaknesses. We represent the lowest levels. We can therefore impact reality in the most powerful ways, even though we accomplish the least of all generations. Though we may be on a level that is lower than all other levels of all previous generations, unlike them, we have a greater ability to bring the entire world to its culmination, to messianic consciousness, the lowest levels, ushering in the highest of levels. Help each one of us individually to open up the gates of encouragement and to be encouraged right now by the fact that the slightest efforts on our part elicit the greatest impacts. And through this, they help us to be the ones who bring the Mashiach very, very, very soon. Global soul redemption. We, the Jewish people, as a result of the original sin, are mixed up in the Adam-Eve soul map or body with the nations of the world. This means that the Jews, who by their nature have an affinity for a certain nation, are exiled to that particular nation. And some of us get trapped in the host culture through assimilation or intermarriage. And others of us have to go in there to rescue them, to find the other non-Jewish souls who really deep down belong to our people. And these rescuers find themselves charged with the task of bringing them back home to their roots, not in a missionary type of a way, and oftentimes not even in a conscious way. These souls are scattered across the dimensions of time and space and soul. Therefore, we wandering, exiled Jews have found ourselves doing time in various places across the globe, and for all for the sake of bringing our home, our people, bringing ourselves back home to our primal home. And all of us are destined ultimately to come back home to our country, to our people, and to our unique way of living. Explore in your mind's eye or in writing your inner drive to actualize and express the full glory of our holy people and of humanity as a whole. Scan a normal day in your life and identify how far along you are in this process and how far along you still have to go. Clarify what inner strengths that you can draw upon to advance your constant awareness and self-actualization in this realm. Ribbon Shalola, bring our people back home, back to our holy land, to be together with the rest of our people, to return to our unique way of living. And help us in this grand homecoming process to see your providential hands swooping us up to return to our roots. Return us to our destiny to truly be a light to the nations, showing to ourselves and to everyone not only who we are and who we can potentially become, but who they are and they can potentially become as well, and open up for us the gates of global and national and personal redemption. Remove from us this exile from inside of us and us from inside of this exile, and remove the exile, and remove the exile, and remove the exile. The hidden souls inside of our lives. Permanent and temporary residents of our bodies and Shabbos guests. Most of us are born with more than one soul inhabiting our bodies. We have up to 3 or 4 that reside within us from birth to death. But there's one main resident, the master of the house, the Baal Bayit, while the other ones are there to help the master in his struggles and in his sufferings. But the goal of everyone is self-perfection. In addition, we have temporary residents, or souls, who come into us for a short time in order to take part in a wonderful act or mitzvah. To share all of this with us, or to share our suffering, either for their own tikkun benefit or to altruistically help us. Sometimes this visit lasts a minute and sometimes it lasts for hours. And in addition, everyone receives an extra soul or neshama yetera. These are actual people coming from their other worldly home to enter inside of us for the duration of the Shabbat, to add life and flavor and consciousness. Explore in your mind's eye or in writing your need, your inner drive to identify and awaken and actualize the souls residing inside of yourself and their messages, and scan a normal day in your life and identify how far along you are in this process and how far you still have to go. And clarify what inner strengths that you can draw upon to advance your constant awareness and self-actualization in this realm. Ribono shel olam, help us to maximally tap into and to rectify all the souls who inhabit our body. We generally have no idea who they are, or that they're even there at all, but with your help, Hashem, we can sensitize ourselves to feel ever so slightly the different inclinations that we have stirring inside us, in quantity and in quality. Help us to know what to do in order to help all these souls and to heal them and to rectify them and to utilize them to help us to do the same. In the elements. Another manifestation of hidden souls are those that are stuck in what is called the kaf hakela, literally the slingshot. These are the souls that are undergoing severe post-life rectifications. They return post-life to this world's atmosphere, either as homeless beings, neither here nor there, not really in this world, nor in the usual post-life realities of Gan Eden, or Gehinnom, or Gilgal. Their fate is a payoff, measure for measure, and not having been either here nor there during their lifetimes in anything that they did, they're slung from one side of the world to the other. And often these post-life souls find themselves in the elements. They inhabit created beings that belong to one of the four elemental categories: mineral, vegetable, animal, or sort of a subhuman. And these unfortunate souls, unlike all of the reincarnated cycles which come back into full-fledged human beings, are aware. They're aware of their previous human form and of their life being trapped in a non-human form at the present time, until their tikkun is completed. Also a measure for measure tikkun for acting like subhuman beings in their lifetime. Explore in your mind's eye, or in writing, your inner drive to elevate all of your subhuman drives and consciousness to a human and godly level. Scan a normal day in your life and identify how far along you are in this process and how far you still have to go. Clarify what inner strength that you can draw upon to advance your constant awareness and self-actualization in this realm. Ribono shel olam, you are in the source. You are the source of compassion. A compassion that is infinite and beyond our ability to fathom. Please direct your compassion to those poor, unfortunate souls who are trapped in a world that is very difficult for them to cope with. Help them to cope, and help them to come to their tikkun swiftly, thoroughly, and as painlessly as possible. Please keep us from thinking and feeling and speaking and doing those things that would condemn us to do time in such a reality. Help us to make the most of our time in this lifetime, fruitfully and in a blessed way, in a way that brings out the best in us and in others, with the recognition of your presence, and not in a way that is anything less than decently human. Hidden soul bonds, levushim. We're connected to the primary relationships of our lives by metaphysical bonds, known as levushim, or spiritual garbs. These levushim connect us to our parents, our children, our siblings, spouses, best friends, masters, and students in ways that transcend our normal ways of conducting relationships with these people. We feel what they feel. We're motivated beyond the call of duty to help them to achieve healing and rectification. We don't lose contact with them, even when one or both of us move to the post-life reality. A marriage is beyond till death do us part. Explore in your mind's eye or in writing your inner drive to connect to the most beloved people in your life. In the most profound and intimate ways. Scan a normal day in your life and identify how far along you are in this process and how far you still have to go. Clarify what inner strengths that you can draw upon to advance your constant awareness and self-actualization in this realm. Ribono shel olam, enable us to do whatever we need to do to enhance our connection with our primal relations. Help us to help them, and help them to help us in any and every way possible. Please open the gates for us to express our love and caring and benevolence. Help us to exert ourselves to help them actualize themselves in both direct and revealed ways and in hidden ways as well. Life's mysteries potentially explain the smoothness factor. Every thought, feeling, speech, and act that we do in life is rooted in and influenced by that same expression that we have done in previous lifetimes. The way to know how we expressed ourselves in previous lifetimes is to feel how smooth these realms resonate for us now. The smoother it goes, the more rectified that we are and we were. The harder that it is, the more rectification is needed. Explore in your mind's eye or in writing your inner drive and capacity to understand how every facet of life, depending on how smooth it is, conveys the type of tikkun we still need to do, and then act upon this understanding. Scan a normal day in your life and identify how far along you are in this process and how far you still have to go. Clarify what inner strengths that you can draw upon to advance your constant awareness and self-actualization in this realm. Ribbon Shalom. Help us to resonate with what we need to in order to still heal and fix up in our life everything that needs to be fixed up. Help us to sensitize ourselves to the degree of smoothness with which we act and speak and feel and think. Please open for us the gates of awareness and willpower and wisdom, so that we can know that we still need to heal, how much we need to heal, and how to go about doing this healing, all with a healthy degree of willpower, both in regards to ourselves and others as well. And finally, let's discuss about our calling in life. We come into this life with unfinished business to take care of. This includes the one or two major things that need taking care of, both negative areas to rectify and positive powers to emanate properly. In addition, we have specific challenges to call us into action in order to respond properly at all times, 24/7. Both the general and specific areas are rooted in the unfinished business that has not been taken care of in previous lifetimes, as well as the specific root soul and root tasks that we have. The playing field that we use to complete ourselves is life itself, in all of its multiple dimensions, people and problems and goals and drives, etc., etc. All calling us to respond properly. Explore in your mind's eye or in writing your inner drive to know what you've come to do in this life and how to do it, and then gather the strength to do it. Scan a normal day in your life and identify how far along you are in this process and how far you still have to go, and clarify what inner strengths that you can draw upon to advance your constant awareness and and self-actualization in this realm. Ribbon Shalola. Open up for us this knowledge to know what we're here for in this lifetime. The main reasons and drives. Those that we feel that we must take care of at all costs, as well as the positive powers that we have. Those realms that we are head and shoulders above our peers in. Show us how to utilize these powers in the best possible ways. Show us how to see that everything that comes our way, whether people or thoughts or challenges, are all customized and personalized just for us. Open up the gates to see how all of this comes from you and how we can truly fulfill our calling in life.